إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. All praise is due to Allah. We praise Him, we seek His help, we seek His forgiveness. We seek refuge in Allah from the evil of our souls and our deeds. Whomever Allah guides, there is none to misguide. And whoever He leads astray, there is none to guide. And I bear witness that there is no God worthy of worship but Allah, and that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is His slave servant and messenger. O you who believe, fear Allah genuinely as He deserves to be feared, and do not die except in a state of Islam. Know very well, my dear brothers and sisters, that the most truthful of speech is the book of Allah, and that the best of guidance is the guidance of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and that the worst of affairs are those which are newly invented in religion, and those indeed are bid'ah, and every bid'ah is misguidance, and every misguidance is in the fire. My dear brothers, here we are, bidding farewell to a dear friend. It seems like yesterday that we were congratulating each other for the coming of Ramadan. And here we are, just a day or two away from congratulating each other on the Eid and the end of Ramadan. But don't stop yet, because the race isn't over. And Ramadan is not done yet. And today is an odd night. And Laylatul Qadr may have passed, and it may have not. Tonight might be Laylatul Qadr. Some of you may be surprised. I already did my worship on Laylatul Qadr. No, you have no guarantees. Yes, it's very probable that it is the night of the 27th, but there are no guarantees. No, brother, I went, I saw the sun. No, you don't know, and neither do I, and neither does anyone else. Only Allah knows. Laylatul Qadr might be tonight. Don't stop now. There's more work to do. Especially when we remember that our deeds are judged by their concluding portions. It's all about what you did in the end. So don't stop now, please. There's still a little bit more time. You want to reap what you've sown? Wait. Just give it your all now. If deeds are judged by those concluding segments, this is the time to give more. This is the conclusion. People are already out celebrating. Wait, hold on. There's still more of the blessings of Ramadan to earn. In this Ramadan, for all practical purposes, you are probably one of three types of people. The first type, a person whose heart was so connected to this beautiful month. They planned properly, they did everything properly, they enjoyed the month of Ramadan, and right now they are most sad that it is departing. And they wish Ramadan can be extended another few days. And if you are one of those, may Allah bless you and accept from you, and may Allah make the rest of us like you. Another type might be saying the opposite. I didn't plan properly. Ramadan started and I wasn't ready. And Ramadan just went and I feel that I haven't done anything special. I fasted, but okay, I did a few things here and there, but otherwise Ramadan was just like Sha'ban, or just like the months before. If you are that person and you are feeling that deep regret, then make a resolution now. Not tomorrow, not after tomorrow, not in Shawwal and not in the Qa'dah. Now, in this khutbah now, make a resolution that the next Ramadan will be different. And I guarantee you, inshallah, you will remember this resolution next Ramadan. And you will say, remember, you were regretting, here's Ramadan again. Allah blessed you to witness it again. Do it differently this time. If you don't make this resolution now, guess what? The feeling you have of deep regret will dissipate into the air. And then next Ramadan will come and you'll do the same thing you did this Ramadan. But because you're feeling that regret now, and it is most poignant now, this is the time to make an oath to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that things will be different if He keeps us alive to see the next Ramadan. Then there is a third type, maybe the vast majority of us, who planned, fasted, did righteous good deeds, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from us. But at the same time, maybe we're tired. It's the end. We've been fasting for a whole month. We are eagerly awaiting the Eid. We're eagerly awaiting having our morning coffee again, as opposed to an evening coffee. We are eagerly awaiting the celebration and being happy to end the month of fasting. Yeah, this is similar to the fasting itself. In the beginning of the day, you're feeling strong. In the middle of the day, you're feeling a little bit tired. At the end of the day, you just can't wait for the iftar. In fact, you're most tired at that point. Maybe that's the time of the highest fatigue, but at the same time, it's the time of the most pleasure. It's a fatigue that is mixed with a deep pleasure, knowing that you are going to break the fast after a long day of fasting, which you will ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala repeatedly to accept from you. It's similar now. We're at the end. Eid is just a day or two away, and we are hoping to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He accepted the fasting of Ramadan from us, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it in our scale of good deeds on the day of judgment. That's why, my brothers, this is the time to seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The religion of Islam is unique in that we conclude all of our deeds with istighfar. You finish the Friday prayer, the obligatory prayers, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, Fajr. You do istighfar. You ask forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you seek the expiation of any shortcoming in that deed that you performed. Unique. Whatever deed we do, we end it with istighfar. Istighfar, that is seeking the forgiveness of Allah from any shortcoming in the deed that we did. At the end of the day, after a long night of qiyam, especially in the last 10 nights, what do? We do istighfar. وَالْمُسْتَغْفِرِينَ بِالْأَسْحَارِ. Those who seek the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in al-ashar. Al-ashar is the last of one's life, istighfar. Allah Most High tells us in the Holy Quran, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this surah, إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح, when the victory of Allah comes and the fath, and you see people coming to Islam in droves. Seemingly, we have achieved what we want to achieve. And the Prophet ﷺ has achieved what he wants to achieve. People are coming to Islam in droves. He has done his part. He has fulfilled his responsibility. And now people are coming to Islam in droves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands him to do what? فَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ وَاسْتَغْفِرْهُ إِنَّهُ كَانَ تَوَّابًا. Many of the Sahaba understood the interpretation of the surah. And the overt interpretation is just that. إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحُ وَرَأَيْتَ النَّاسَ يَدْخُلُونَ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ أَفْوَاجًا. When this happens, glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and seek His forgiveness. And this is what the Prophet ﷺ did. But Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma understood a more covert meaning. So he said to the rest of the Sahaba, and they were his elders, he said, this is a foreshadowing of the death of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's over. It means he's fulfilled his role. And he's going back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the people are entering Islam. What Allah required of him has been accomplished. And of course, this was a disaster for the Sahaba. The death of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As much as they loved that everyone was coming to Islam, but losing the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this was something they could not handle. Because they are the ones who loved him more than their own selves. So even at the end of life, istighfar. We always conclude our deeds with istighfar. Amazing is the affair of the believer. Amazing is the affair of the believer when you compare him to the hypocrite. The believer does righteous good deeds. And then he spends his time seeking forgiveness of Allah in fear that Allah may not have accepted. Some of the Sahaba would say, if Allah accepted one sajda from me, I'm happy. And you and I think that all of our prayers, mashallah, are accepted, 100% marks on all our prayers. Some of our prayers deserve 10%, brothers. Some deserve 20 or 30. But Allah is the most merciful and He's the most generous. But many of the Sahaba were like this. They regarded their deeds as nothing, even though their deeds were many multiples of our deeds. On the other hand, the hypocrite is the opposite. The hypocrites, the kuffar, they have committed egregious sins in their lives, and they're living as if everything is la-di-da. The exact opposite of the mu'min. This is why Al-Hasan al-Basri, rahimahullah, said that the believer, al-mu'min, jama'a ihsanan wa khawfan, wal-munafiq jama'a isa'atan وَأَمْنًا. The diametrical opposite. And this is in tafsir of the ayah from the Noble Quran, the saying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْتُونَ مَا آتَوْا وَقُلُوبُهُمْ وَجِلَةٌ أَنَّهُمْ إِلَىٰ رَبِّهِمْ رَاجِعُونَ. Those who give what they give, Allah is praising those who give what they give and do what they do, and their hearts tremble in fear that they are returning to their Lord. This is how Al-Hasan explained it. And our mother Aisha radiallahu anha goes to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and says, O Messenger of Allah, this ayah, is it referring to the sinful? The one who committed zina and stole and drank alcohol and things of that nature? Seemingly this is what it is. Who's going to be afraid? The sinner. In our understanding, the one who should be afraid is the sinner, not the one who does righteous good deeds. He said, no, O daughter of As-Siddiq. This is the one who does righteous good deeds and prays and gives charity. But they are afraid, maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not accept from them. And keep in mind, when we have that feeling that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or that fear that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may not have accepted, this itself is more reason for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our deeds. Because we ourselves are not that proud of it. When you go to your boss and you say, I am going to give you a report that you haven't seen the likes of since you started this job, he'll throw the report in your face, right? But when you give him the report and you say, I did my best, this will be more reason for them to accept. And this is just an example. And to Allah belongs the best example. We do our deeds, but in the end, we seek forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we beseech Him to accept from us. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة والتسليم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه والتابعين. To drive this message home, the fact that we conclude our deeds by imploring Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and seeking forgiveness from Him for all of the shortcomings that we may have committed, because people's fasting is quite different. Some people fasted, they deprived themselves of food and drink, nothing else. Everything else is the same. And this is the fasting of the common folk, the public. Others fasted, not only from food, drink, and marital pleasures, but from everything that would invite the wrath of the Almighty. And they abstained from any such sins. Others, and they are on the highest pedestal, maybe we can achieve this next Ramadan or the coming Ramadans. People who fasted from anything that would preoccupy them from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No distractions. Going to Allah completely from the beginning of the month till the end. This is the cream of the crop. May Allah make us of those, inshallah. So to drive this message home, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has obligated upon us Zakatul Fitr. Zakatul Fitr, in addition to the istighfar that you are doing, is a practical manifestation of seeking the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for our shortcomings in this month, an expiation of whatever sins we may have committed. We pay Zakatul Fitr. And if someone heard about Zakatul Fitr for the first time, they would think, wow, this must be a good amount to expiate for the sins that we may have committed or our shortcomings in our deeds and fasting in Ramadan. 1 KD, I don't think the amount has changed. It's symbolic. But it's a manifestation of seeking that istighfar. طهرة للصائم. It's an expiation for our shortcomings during the month of Ramadan. Therefore, I remind myself that don't miss Zakat al-Fitr. And this is the time where it becomes permissible to pay. And you have all the way up until just before Eid. If it goes after Eid, you missed it. That's no longer Zakat al-Fitr. So pay it before. And I think many of the associations and organizations here, they are already accepting Zakat al-Fitr, and they have accepted it even from before. And many of these associations will also distribute it in terms of rice and other things, in the same way the Prophet ﷺ did it, even though we know that there is some difference of opinion on the issue. Can you do it by distributing rice or wheat or whatever it is? Or do you pay it in cash? Many of these organizations now, you pay them in cash and they distribute it in rice or wheat or dates or whatever. It is as the Prophet ﷺ obligated it, and he obligated it upon every free person or slave, male or female, small, young or old. He obligated upon all of those people. So pay the Zakat al-Fitr on behalf of everyone that you spend on for their livelihood. And this is an expiation and seeking the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for our sins, for our shortcomings, and at the same time in order to bring joy to those who are less fortunate than us, to those who may not spend the same joyous Eid that you will. It's a small amount for each individual, but when and if all of the Muslims pay their Zakat al-Fitr, it will help a lot of people. And on that note, the Society for Helping the Sick is here to seek your generous donations. They help, and they have been working for decades, I believe, helping the sick all around the country, and especially even people outside the country, in Syria, Yemen, and other people. They are in the back. If you have any questions or if you want to ask them, please donate. They help people. They help people in the hospitals and the sick all around the way. Donate generously. This is the end of the month of Ramadan. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from us all. اللهم لك الحمد على نعمك التي لا تعد ولا تحصى. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه اجمعين. ربنا ظلمنا انفسنا ظلما كثيرا ولا يغفر الذنوب الا انت فاغفر لنا مغفرة من عندك وارحمنا انك انت الغفور الرحيم. اللهم انك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عنا. اللهم انك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عنا. اللهم انك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا. ربنا ردنا والامه اليك ردا جميلا. وهل المسلمين منا للمحسنين. اللهم تقبل منا الصلاه والصيام والقيام والقران. اللهم تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم وتب علينا انك انت التواب الرحيم. اللهم بارك لنا في القران العظيم. اللهم ذكرنا منه ما نسينا وعلمنا منه ما جهلنا واجعله حجه لنا لا حجه علينا. اللهم شفعه فينا يوم القيامة مع الصيام يا رب العالمين. اللهم ادخلنا الجنة من باب الريان بسلام منك يا رحيم يا رحمن. نسألك اللهم الجنة وما قرب إليه من قول وعمل، ونعوذ بك من النار وما قرب إليها من قول وعمل. اللهم اصرف عنا عذاب جهنم إن عذابها كان غراما. اللهم ربنا آمنا فاغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين. لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. اللهم بلغنا ليلة القدر واكتب لنا أجرها يا رب العالمين. اللهم اعتق رقابنا من النار. اللهم اختم لنا هذا الشهر برحمتك ومغفرتك ورضوانك يا رب العالمين. توفنا مسلمين والحقنا بالصالحين. توفنا وانت راض عنا اتم الرضا رضا لا سخط بعده يا مولاي يا ذا الجلال والاكرام. اللهم ربنا اشف مرضانا وارحم موتانا وفك قيد اسرانا وانصر مجاهدينا. اللهم صب المستضعفين ابتغاء وجهك. اللهم صب المستضعفين المستضعفين في كل مكان يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم انصر من نصر الدين واخذل من خذل المسلمين. اللهم كن لعبادك المستضعفين في كل مكان، أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين يا رب العالمين يا قوي يا عزيز يا جبار السماوات والأرض. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. عباد الله، إن الله وملائكته يصلون